It's a sunny afternoon in Bellingham. A group of girls sits on the fountain ledge in Red Square chatting. Each one of them has a small rainbow-striped ribbon pinned to her backpack strap. Above them to the east, rainbow flags can be seen displayed in the top office windows of Miller Hall. For many straight students, these colorful symbols look like mere decoration, or pass under the radar completely. But for senior Stephanie Battershell, they were the main reason she came to Western.
Yeah, I think I noticed it even before I started going to Western, on one of those, discovery days and everything with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Walking through Red Square with my parents, I was like, there is, rainbow, they're, this big, but they're in every single window in Miller Hall, and I noticed them right off the bat, and I got excited to go here because I felt like this is a safe haven, and this is somewhere where I can, kind of grow up and, just be more comfortable with myself, and that kind of encouraged me, just seeing that little visual reminder.
The rainbow has been used as a symbol of peace, hope, and diversity throughout many cultures for thousands of years. It first appeared in the Bible when Noah received a sign of hope from God in the form of a rainbow. Centuries later, in the early 1920s, the rainbow became the emblem for the international cooperative movement. It wasn't until 1978 that San Francisco artist Gilbert Baker popularized the rainbow flag as a symbol of pride for the LGBT community. After the death of Harvey Milk, San Francisco's openly gay city supervisor, in November of 1978, demand for the rainbow flag increased dramatically. Today, many queer individuals say that they see the rainbow as a visual indicator of safe spaces, where they won't be judged for their sexual orientation or alternative lifestyle choices. Rumors Cabaret in downtown Bellingham is one of these safe havens.
We, as the queer community, a lot of times go to Rumors just because it's very, very outspoken about how queer-friendly it is. I think one of the main things is the fact that they're not afraid to have posters on the wall that are queer-oriented. They have all the type of flags. They have the rainbow flag, they have bear pride, bi pride, leather pride, which are all things that you see at the Pride Parade, not so often everywhere else. But the fact that they have those makes people feel really comfortable because they're saying, yeah, you're able to come here. And I think the visuals are really what make us feel comfortable.
Back on campus, posters advertising LGBT events often use the rainbow or color scheme in an effort to attract queer students. Casey Hall, director of the Associated Students Research and Outreach Programs, talks about why this can be so effective.
Anyone who is really in tune to the LGBT community will see a rainbow and be like, that must be queer, there must be some relation. Like when I was in Vancouver the other day, there was a rainbow flag on the place that I went to eat. And I'm like, oh, this is either owned by somebody who's LGBTQ or it is somebody who's just supportive.
In order to target a group such as the queer community and because it's such an invisible minority, we do need that commonality. We need that symbol to recognize and understand that that's going to be a safe place for us. And there are a variety of different symbols, but the rainbow is the most gender inclusive and identity inclusive.
In 2008, Absolute Vodka took the rainbow's comfort appeal to the commercial level by releasing a limited edition Absolute Colors bottle. While the company undoubtedly caught the attention of more queer customers, Western senior Anna Bonish hasn't been quite so quick to jump on the fan boat.
I don't know necessarily that the queer community is even asking for our movement to go in the direction of wanting people to advertise to us, make us better consumers. So if you look at any queer magazines, oftentimes Absolute Vodka is one of the main advertisers there, and you'll see the rainbow flag in quite a few of their advertisements. So yes, they're including us, but at the same time, is that making more queer youth feel like we need to be consuming alcohol, and here's the type of alcohol we should be consuming.
Senior Stephanie Battershell is also working on how to market to queer youth. She's recently been designing a visual campaign for the Queer Youth Project in Bellingham, but says she shies away from using anything too stereotypically gay on her posters.
The Queer Youth Project is something I wanted to take on because I felt like queer youth especially, that teenage age that's really unsure of themselves and really has no one to go to or nowhere to go to. I felt like I should help take on that project visually because in a way it would be more of a means of support for those kind of kids and a means of advocacy in a way that they would appreciate it. So in terms of going about it, I just try to make it gay and youthful, but not too gay and youthful, you know what I mean? Not something that people would be like, oh geez, like this makes me uncomfortable. I think it's a good thing to have some kind of visual representation to an extent. But sometimes I think it gets pushed too far and too loud.
Battershell recognizes that her views on rainbow pride may be a little more conservative than other queer students, but she says she's not interested in making her identity such a public matter.
I don't think every day today I'm gay. You know, I'm me. So I don't really expect that from anyone. I don't expect anyone to look at me and get that from me.
On the flip side, Josh Foley says he likes to express his queer identity openly, because he never had the chance before college.
I'm very blunt. So a lot of times, like I have a button on my bag that just says gay pride, but as for visuals, I think the most blunt and easy symbol for me to identify with is the two male symbols connected, intertwined. Which I think is it's a beautiful symbol, and I can relate to it. So that or just a rainbow pin or flag, those are two ways that I really identify with, mainly because I wasn't able to express myself so bluntly in high school. I came from a very small town. So I like the most out there, obvious pins that I can find.
Casey Hayes says he prefers to save the rainbow for specific pride events.
For me, my personal style doesn't necessarily coincide with the rainbow at all times. Like, it's something that I'll do if I'm going to like a pride event, or if I feel like I want to make it clear that I am part of the community. It's something that I might incorporate occasionally, and I do. But I think I'm more likely to wear like pink clothing or like lavender clothing, that colors that I like to wear anyways, and I think in a way that communicates my association with the community.
Hall says that even with such moderate fashion choices, he still gets harassed frequently around Bellingham for his appearance.
I mean, for me personally, like, I haven't had any violent experiences, but like it's like I can't walk to the store sometimes without having somebody yell at me from a car with some violent language. And that's happened to me, many times, like I can't count it.
At Western, many students, both queer and straight, have tried to counteract verbal harassment by wearing ally ribbons.
This is an LGBTQ rainbow ribbon, and it's for allies to wear. And what it means to be an ally to the LGBTQ community here at Western could really mean many things. In its simplest form, it could mean correcting people when they use homophobic language. Like if you hear somebody say that's so gay, you could say, hey, that's somebody's identity that you just used as a negative term, and maybe get them to think about what that means. Or it could mean, like, when a friend comes out to you, to support them and just treat them like nothing's changed. Just be like, oh, that's awesome, thanks for letting me know.
I think one of the reasons why we have the ally ribbon, for instance, is because there still is so much homophobia that you don't know where you're going to be able to find a safe space or an ally or somebody who's going to be able to help you out.
Even on a predominantly liberal campus with a strong ally network, many queer students say they still question how much support there really is at Western. Whether or not it shows up in their personal style, the general consensus is that every visible instance of the rainbow plays a huge role in helping queer students feel more comfortable on this campus.
Until the generation that didn't remember the struggle for rights is completely gone, the rainbow will always signify that struggle and that feeling of being a second-class citizen, and the rainbow was the one way we could say we feel proud.